Hi guys. Yeah, I've been coming through a lot this week because just so much is going on and just uh have a testimony. So if you got a few minutes, hang out with your girl because I gotta tell you some stuff. I gotta update y'all on the job stuff. And just overall reflecting the past few months of me being out here and all that I had to do to I guess survive. So, um, good news. I got the job. Yay, me. So, right now I have two jobs. I'm working part time in retail. That was the first job I got like a few weeks ago. That's going to end this week because my new job starts next Monday. Training begins on Monday. So, this week I have to now submit to like a second or third background check. Like when I tell you all, let me tell you, during the application process, I had to fill out an online application. Then once I got an interview, I got a 15-page application, which included, a background check. They had, paperwork for me to fill out so I can go ahead and submit to one. And once I, did the interview, found out that I got the job. Today I got my new hire enrollment packet, and I still have to submit to more background checks. Like this job is just Loctite. I have to get more references on top of the references that I've already submitted. Like they want 3 reference letters now. So not only did they want to check my references, but I now have to get an additional 3 letters. So yeah, this was worse than like any government screen that you can probably ever go through. Like it was bananas. Like I remember the job that I had in Oakland. Because like I said, both jobs are pretty much the same thing. I'm working in mental health. I'm going to be working with the youth. I'm not sure which age groups yet, but I'm assuming middle to high school. And I will be working at a residential day treatment, working second shift from 2 to 11. And yeah, doing pretty much all the same job duties that I did when I was in Oakland. That included giving direct services, mental health services to the clients, doing, mental health notes, incident reporting, um, doing a lot of training around mental health issues, just a lot. This job is very, intensive in terms of documentation. Documentation is definitely how the organizations get paid. So that is very important. And yeah, but in terms of, the pre-employment screen, I expected it to be extensive, but this one just takes the cake. Like, so, I'm still, going through the pre-employment process. And then on Monday, I start training and I can finally conclude my job search. Additionally, I mentioned to you all that I provide lock services out here in Atlanta. I, do everything from lock repair, twist, interlocking, what have you, and I use all natural products. That's one thing that I like to, push in my advertisements. I've since set up a website. I've set up a Facebook fan page. Everything is just doing wonderfully. Everything is falling into place. My clientele is growing and just a lot of great things are coming my way. So I know some people are curious. They say, well, wait a minute, don't you have a law degree? And what do you plan on doing with that law degree? So the reality of the situation is just like with every other industry out here, jobs are just scarce. I think the unemployment data is not accurate. I think unemployment numbers are much higher than they are reporting because I know for one, when I moved to Georgia, I didn't register for Georgia's unemployment. So I'm not even counted in the number for the rate of unemployment in Georgia. But in Georgia, it's definitely higher than the nation's rate. So it took me about 3 months, and throughout the whole time, I did pretty much everything you can think of. I was, I started, like I said, doing hair, as a small hustle. I was working with a guy who had a cleaning company doing commercial cleaning. I was working with him. I even did my own, cleaning, bids. I, put my information out there, got a couple of people, clients, and I started, cleaning their homes. Yes, I was scrubbing toilets, you guys. So I'm not too good to pick up a damn toilet brush and get to work. See, one thing you have to understand about me is when it comes to work and having good work ethic, I have it. Just because I have this fancy law degree, fancy smancy, doesn't mean I can't get down and dirty. When you don't have any money and you have bills and you're trying to make ends meet, especially if you move to a place not having a job already in hand, you're going to have to struggle. You're going to have to hustle your ass off. And that's exactly what I did. I also worked for a little pizza place in, the mall for like a month, got fired. I don't think the guy liked me. Me and him, we just didn't gel. We both got two type A personalities in there. And, it's just, I don't know. I don't think it was a good fit for me. And I don't think, he really, liked me on his team. That's neither here or there. But that's just it just goes to show you, because when people are asking me, checking up on me and saying, okay, Jasmine, so what have you been doing with your time? Like, how are you, making ends meet? Well, that's what I was doing. And the responses that I got from them was, oh, don't you, you can't get nothing better than that? Or why are you, working at a pizza place? Why are you working retail? Why are you cleaning houses? Why are you doing hair? Like, that's the best you can do. And, a lot of time I got mad. I got a little irritated. I'm like, who the fuck are you to tell me, what I need to be doing because my resume says I have a law degree? You have to understand. There's something called being overqualified. There's something called being, just unexperienced too. So because I decided to go to school straight through and finish non-stop, I don't have like a substantial work history that is continuous. The only time I had continuous work history was when I was working in high school, because I was working all year round, So when I was in college and law school, not so much. I worked mostly the breaks in the summer. And that's like a month or so at a time. So it's not long enough. Even when I was working in Oakland, I think I stayed at that job for 6 to 7 months before I quit that, so I can focus more on my academics and get up out of there, because it was closer to graduation time. But yeah, it's just, people need to understand that just because you are in a certain field and you're studying in a certain field does not guarantee that you will get a job when you finish. Especially depending on which field you decide to go into. Some fields are growing while other fields are contracting. Right now, the legal market is in the process of contracting. Like, law firms are they're getting smaller, they're hiring less people, and that's just really reality of the situation, and for me, since I did not go to law school here in Georgia, I don't have a lot of substantial legal contacts here. So I have to start networking, going to different bar association events and, joining different associations, getting my face and name out there, start volunteering my time at a, someone's law office or a government agency. I'm going to have to, really network my ass off, if I decide to go in that direction, which, and who knows, I might still want to just keep up my legal skills while I focus on mental health now. But the great thing that came out of this whole situation is that no matter what, I kept pushing each and every day. Like my man can tell you, I was applying to jobs. If I wasn't applying to jobs, I was going to a job, whether it was one I created or one that, I got, in the midst of all of this stuff. So since about July, I've been hustling my ass off. Has not been easy. I'm not going to sit here and say that it was peachy and cream. It was not easy, has been difficult. There have been times where I've only had like $5 in my bank account. And I'm like, how the hell am I going to pay this bill? How am I going to eat? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? And for, a minute there, I was a little worried. I'm not even going to say worried. I was scared because I was like, oh my God, I'm going to fail. And, people say, well, why didn't you just move home back to Baltimore? And, it would have been easier. You could have got a job in D.C., been on your way. Well, this is where I want to be. I want to be in Georgia. So in order to do Georgia, I have to be in Georgia. In order to work in Georgia, I have to be here, pound that pavement, make those contacts while I am down here. To me, it didn't make no sense to go home, work a year or two, and then try to move back to Georgia, because I figured the way the employment situation is, it may not get better anytime soon. So if I'm going to, do something, I need to strike while the iron is still warm. I'm not even going to say hot because it's not hot down here at all. There's a lot more people moving down here, and I blame the movies, the reality TV shows that we have down here, because a lot of people are just moving in droves down here. And I'm like, for what? There's no jobs. There's no jobs. So, I'm just saying all that to say, be creative. Have hustles, whatever your hobby is, whatever you are good at. Make sure you market that. It's always good to have a residual income, no matter what. You don't want to depend solely on a job in order to survive. You have to have some skills on the outside of that, that you can fall back on. So, for my situation, now that I have this job, I can quit the part-time, focus solely on my mental health career, and then also continue to build my hair business, because I don't intend on stopping. I want to continue to do that, and and who knows, see how far that goes. I want to have my own, something that is mine, you know what I'm saying? Something that I am in control of, and something that I can, something that is guaranteed. So if whatever reason, God forbid, this job, is taken away from me or whatever, I still will be able to sustain myself. So yeah, legal grad, law grad, whatever you want to call me. Here's what a law grad today looks like. It looks like me. If you didn't graduate with a top paying 100K job, in a law firm, or if you didn't get a government job or a fellowship, the next best option is to go into nonprofits. Nonprofit, because of, a couple of things. Number one, the training and experience that you gain is just valuable. They have a lot of leadership opportunities while working for nonprofits that are, not necessarily available in other industries like corporate America and stuff. This is a lot of competition, just cutthroat. Whereas in nonprofits, they are much more nurturing. They kind of grow with you, and they provide continuous training because they have to keep abreast of whatever field that they're specializing in. So for instance, I'm in mental health, so I have to keep abreast of the behavioral, emotional disorders, the new treatment methodologies. I'm pretty much, studying the same shit that the therapists are studying. The only difference is I'm not certified, which I can get certified, because one thing about this job, they do offer, tuition assistance. So it's just, great if you want to nurture that aspect. Me, I would love to use my law degree later on in life and work in administration, maybe nonprofit administration. Who knows? I just have that there. So whenever I need to take it out and use it, it's available. Another great thing about nonprofits, and also government jobs, if you work at least 10 years with them and make, I think, 120 on-time student loan payments, your student loans will be forgiven. I owe too much money. But if I were to pay back the amount of loans, including interest, it would be $500,000. Easy. Over a 30-year loan, $500,000 is what I would have paid. And I still, 30 years from now, probably still wouldn't be done paying it off. So I said, why work harder? Work smarter. So I strategically applied to a lot of government and nonprofit jobs. And one thing I give myself credit for, that I was glad that I was that forward thinking, is while, I was in my final year of law school, because I knew my situation, I didn't have substantial real world experience, I needed to develop, I had to develop a niche. And my niche was to fall back on my undergrad degree and go into, mental health services. So me working at that job gave me an advantage, because once I finished law school, I knew I would be able to qualify and go into a similar position anywhere else in the United States. that option was available for me. So in case the legal job doesn't come right away, I have that I can use, and work on that, and it will help me get to where I need to get to. So there's just a lot of benefits for people such as myself who went to school straight through, high school through post grad or masters, don't have a lot of work experience. You have to just string it along, and you want to develop a niche. Work your final year of law school. Find a job that is in the field that you're interested in tapping into, and then working that job. And if you finish and you decide you want to stay in the area, keep that job. Because with a law degree, you will be an asset for that organization. They will look to you for leadership, especially for future leadership roles. So, yeah, I'm just very excited about this job. I'm very excited about my hair business. I'm very excited about just, that was going to fall. I kept knocking it. I'm just very excited about the things that are, finally falling into place for me. Things, are now, going, I guess, my way. And one thing I can easily say that I am proud of is that I didn't give up. I didn't say, fuck it. Y'all know I would be quick to say, fuck this shit. I did not do that because I said I wanted to be here. If you want something bad enough, you will work for it. Just best believe you will work for it. And when you have something such as not being able to work and live in a place where you desire, that's just enough to push you. It should be enough to push you to work even harder to do what you need to do so you can, anchor yourself where you want to be. I said I wanted to be in Georgia, so I had to get something substantial here, and I did. So I just, and this is for anybody, whether you're graduating a master's program or any other field, even other law grads, if you find yourself stuck and just, like, what am I going to do? My suggestion is follow your talents. Whatever you're talented at, whatever your gifts are, definitely find a way to make money from that and go from there. And also find a niche outside of the field you're studying in. So like I said, my niche was mental health, and that's what I anchored into in Georgia, and that's what I'm going to continue to grow into and, go from there. So yeah, you guys, that's just my little testimonial. And thank you for everybody that gave me well wishes and, encouragement and, just being overall supportive. You all just don't understand how much I appreciate that. Like, I really, really, really appreciate that. It's rough out here, but you can make it. You just got to find it in you. Network your ass off, because things don't come by chance. It don't come by luck. It comes on purpose. And you just have to make sure that you're, aligning yourself with the right individuals and also applying to the right jobs. Refashion your resume, make phone calls, do what you got to do to get your foot in the door. You can do it. So that's my little testimonial. I'm going to get off my soapbox. And yeah, just hope everybody have a fantabulous week. And I will be checking in to let you all know how training goes.